Good afternoon, and I've got 3 minutes to say, and I think this is a very fascinating subject. Thank you very much for giving an opportunity to speak on this fabulous subject. I was just wondering that if we are in the same room 10 years later, and whatever we heard today on what's happening on CSR, and we look at what CSR would be after 10 years, we would say that what we discussed today is so rudimentary. Just a little parallel, 10 years ago what sustainability was and what sustainability practices we have today are way ahead. And I think, after working for 33 years in corporate at various leadership positions, I on my own shifted to work in an NGO. So I have this fabulous platform of meeting various corporates to create this relationship. And in this process, got to understand the thought process, what they're planning to do in CSR. And I'm absolutely convinced that beyond CSR is already happening globally. It's already happening in India. We know what CSR is. We know that, it all started from what you call as individual donations, grants to, something to do with the society. And then this whole regulatory aspect came into the picture, and we saddled with this 2%. But let me be very, very candid, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of what I have listened, what I've heard, and what is being practiced, which I define as beyond CSR. And I guess beyond CSR is certainly looking at CSR not as a compliance, not looking at something good to do, not looking at something as a part of doing, to be a good corporate citizen. But I think lots of corporates today are saying, how can we look at CSR as an opportunity? How can we look at CSR as a business opportunity? And I think that's actually happening. It's a reality. And let me share with you some nuances. If you look at the ecosystem, first of all, there are venture capitalists funding social startup organizations. I think that's the first clue to say, CSR is getting into the main stage. VCs generally don't fund, but VCs fund startups which can scale up, which can make lots of profits. And I have come across startups which are basically focused on providing solutions to CSR programs, and they have got VC funding. So what does it say? It says that they see CSR as moving to the main stage, two businesses, making projects looks very serious, and getting what you call as social return on investments. So that's one such example. I would say that globally and in India, VC funding is a very good trend to say, is CSR moving beyond CSR into the center stage of business? The second couple of quick clues, I was in a Harvard class here in the same room, in the same hotel, and I came across a couple of case studies which were so very fascinating. I thought I would share with you. These are all beyond CSR. An excellent example is of a cement company which has got very strong targets for meeting carbon emissions. So what they did is they just flipped it around. They went to farmers who had harvested their sugarcane crops, and they just paid them what you call a certain compensation, took the sugarcane dry canes which were left over after the cropping was done, used it to burn their boilers. So by reducing the use of natural resources like coal. So that's one excellent example. Another excellent example, all of us have heard about this case study, which is absolutely a right fit for being called as beyond CSR. Levers, Hindustan Lever, for example, is running this Shakti Amma project. And I guess what they did is they not only got these women through self-help group to sell not only Hindustan Lever products but other products in sachets, but they not only gave them what you call as a sustainable employment, but they re-engineered all these products to make it more affordable, to make it within those five paise points, and sort of get them to increase consumptions, and also sort of got economic generation going on in these groups of self-help groups. So that's another good example. Another lovely example which is started about 15-20 years ago as a part of strategic CSR is Jain irrigation.